Hey everybody, Wayne here, aka Squirrel Man is Comics, back with another video. Before we continue, I just wanted to remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and click the bell to be notified of new content, and feel free to comment below on this video. And without further ado, let's continue. This is another CGC unboxing, just got a box in today. I have three more submissions at CGC waiting to get done, including an express, 5 books. It's already at the grading stage, so hopefully in the next week to week and a half it'll be back in my hands if they get on it. It's only 5 books, so fingers crossed. And that includes an X-Men 94, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what grades I get on those books. So in the meantime, 12 books. I mentioned this in a previous video that this was on its way, but before I unbox it, I just wanted to point out, and it may not be easy to see in here, but the corner got a little crunched in, so I don't think there'll be any issues, but a little bit concerned. Hopefully we'll check and see if there's any damage to the slabs inside. So without further ado, I think I've said that twice already in this video. Let's get this opened up and see what we have. Now, I know what's in here. It's a mix of silver and bronze age books. I don't believe there's anything copper or modern, but I may be incorrect. So let's get this on the floor, make my life easier. I don't know which side this is. I want to do this in alphabetical order. This is alphabetical order. Awesome. Okay, so first book, I know what the grade is, and it's got the packing slip. So first book, Avengers 55, first appearance of Ultron. I have, I want to say 4 of these, including one that's marked 9.8, but it's got heavy restoration. And a couple that are not so great condition, including one with burn marks. Like somebody dropped a cigarette like right in the middle of Giant Man, and it's like a burn. You open up the front cover and you can see the burn kind of go through like the first 5 or 6 pages. This is not this book, so anyway, or this particular copy. So there we go. 8.0. White pages. You know what? I'm happy with that. You know, there are better looking copies out there, but you know, for again a white cover copy, given its age, you know, I'm kind of happy with an 8.0. So with white pages especially. So that's great. The first few books are going to be Avengers. So I've got a bunch of Avengers keys that run between 55 and into the 90s, I think. So next up is Avengers 71, and this is one that I've been really looking forward to getting back, and I'm hoping for a good grade because it's the first appearance of the Invaders, and it's a book that I really love. So it's an 8.0, off-white to white pages. To be honest, I actually thought it was a little nicer than that. I actually thought it was more like a 9. I really had a good feeling for it, but you know what? I will read the grader's notes and see what they say, but really thought it was much nicer than that. Although I do see a little something going on around the staple that I didn't think I noticed the first time, but you know, whatever. All right, next up. It is an Avengers book, and it will be Avengers 83, first appearance of Valkyrie. Now, it's Enchantress masquerading as Valkyrie, spoiler alert, but still first appearance of Valkyrie, so I wanted to throw that into CGC as well. 7.5 off-white to white pages. You know, again, I always hoped it would be a little bit nicer, but not much. Like, I thought it would be like an 8. So I can live with 7.5. That's fine. Again, it's an age thing, right? And next up is, I think, the last of the Avengers books I sent in, because the other 2 Avengers books came in my previous video, which was 46 and 47, or is it 47 and 48? First Dane Whitman, first Dane Whitman's Black Knight. So this is Avengers 87, the origin of T'Challa. And truthfully, I haven't been looking at the corners. they seem to be okay. I don't see any issues. So anyway, 6.5 white pages. Nicest white pages. I thought it was better than 6.5. I don't know what's going on. I really thought I'm really off this time. I don't know. Thought it was better, but you know, it's a bright yellow cover, and sometimes those colored covers, the whites and the blacks and the yellows, can sometimes you know, get you. So all right, next up is wow, okay, Flash 123. This is the second copy I've ever owned. I've sold the other one in the past. This one has seen better days. I know that. It has a lot of flecking. It's missing parts of the cover, as you can see. It's got a lot of wear on it. It's not the prettiest copy in the world, but of course, super important. First meeting of Silver Age Flash and Golden Age Flash. First mention of Earth 2, the first concept of the multiverse in DC Comics. So cannot understate the importance of this book in the history of DC Comics, and it's one of my all-time favorite covers and all-time favorite books. So I'm glad to have another copy. I probably won't keep it, but ultimately down the road I would like to get a really decent copy, like at least a 7.0 for the PC. But 2.0, cream to off-white pages, does not surprise me. Like I said, this is a pretty beat-up copy. I had no expectations this would be any higher than a 2.5. I was expecting a 1.8, so I'll be happy with a 2.0 on this. Next up then, if we're going in order, this should be another Flash book, which I threw in because I had it. I was going to send it in ages ago and I never did. Flash 175, second Flash Superman race. I've always wanted to get Superman 199, which is the first Flash Superman race, but every time I go to buy it, I get bid out on auctions, and I don't know. I want to find myself a reasonable looking copy that isn't going to break the bank. So anyway, 5.5 off-white pages. It's probably all of a 5.5. It had a lot of wear around the edges, blunted corners. The coloration, it's kind of dirty. Like, I tried cleaning it, and some books you can only do so much, right? So that's fine. Next up is, oh yeah, cool, Giant-Sized Creatures featuring Werewolf by Night, first appearance of Tigra. And the great thing about this book is it looked really nice. And it's a square bound book, and so it's one of those books where I think it's one of the first square bound books I ever tried to press. I originally pressed this out like maybe a year and a half ago, and I never repressed it. So I don't know if it had any rebound of some of the pressing that I did, but I pressed this like before my mom passed away to send it in, and it never did. So I finally got it into CGC. So. Nice. 9.4 off-white to white pages. I actually didn't think I would get a 9.4 on this. I thought it would be like maybe a 9. I was hoping for a 9. So 9.4 is awesome for, again, pressing a square bound book. These books, man, they get spine wear. You start to get the tears in the corners of the spines. So getting a really nice looking copy of this book is really awesome. All right. Woohoo. All right. Next up is The Shocking Truth About Drugs. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, 86. Speedy is a junkie. Yeah, that's again, man, that Green Lantern, Green Arrow social commentary period, very early Bronze Age, from 76 onwards. I mean, they tackled some pretty serious issues in those books. Yeah, this was heavy duty at the time, and still now, really, in a lot of ways, it's still the topic is serious, handled seriously, and the repercussions were big, and I think it just resonated with what America was going through at the time, and Canada as well, and still does, really. So yeah, I wanted to get this one graded because it was a really nice copy. So 9.2 off-white to white pages. That's really cool. I got a number of keys from this period, including 76. I had 2 of them. I sold one. I've kept the other for now in a 7.0, but 9.2, this is nice. I'm really happy with that. I really thought it was a nice looking copy. So so if you have 85, then you have to have 86. So part 2 of the story with the continuation of the theme on drug abuse. Not as good. Okay, well, you know what? 8.0, white pages, yeah. Anyway, this whole period is some of the best writing you're going to find in comics, and some of the best art between Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams' work on this run is just phenomenal. So I kind of wish the grades were a little closer together, but you know what? It is what it is, right? I have three more books left. So next up is, yes, I have 2 Hulks in this set. So this is the first one, Hulk 141, first appearance of Doc Samson, who, you know, I guess there's a little bit of spec going on right now with Doc Samson. Perhaps the thoughts, perhaps he might show up in She-Hulk series. I don't know. I've had this again for a couple of years, and I've been wanting to get this in because it was a nice copy. So, oh, sorry. 7.0, off-white to white pages. I thought it would be higher, a little higher, an 8 at least. If I thought it was just a 7.0, I probably wouldn't have put it in. But I mean, it's got. I'll read the grader's notes. I mean, it's got a date stamp, but I don't think that really nicked it too much. The spine's in really nice condition. The wrap's not too bad. The corners aren't too blunted, so I'll have to sort of see what the grader's notes say. So, as I said, there's 2 Hulks in here. We have 2 Hulks. And that would be Hulk 162, first appearance of Wendigo, which, really awesome cover. I guess it's a matching set, 7.0, off-white to white pages. So, so a couple of key Hulk first appearances. Really happy with that. I mean, again, thought it was a little nicer than a 7.0, but whatever. And last but not least, and I'm gonna do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 12. Okay. You always had this fear. It's like, okay, why does it feel like there's fewer books than there are? But they're all here. So, oh yeah, baby. Final book. A book I try to pick up every time I can get a copy of it. I've only had 2 so far. I've had a few more I've seen at auction, but I've not pulled the trigger on them because the condition was clearly problematic and I didn't think it was worth the money that they were being bid up to. Iron Man Submariner one shot, or as they call it, number 1, 1 of 1. And again, continuation of Tales to Astonish and Tales of Suspense. Predates Iron Man 1 and Submariner 1. Yeah, so I have another one in a pile over there that I was going to send to CGC and I ended up not sending it. It'll go in the next time I do a batch of pre-1975s. 8.0 off-white to white pages. This is weird. So like, I really thought this was more like a 7. So I got an 8. In books which I think I'm going to get an 8, I get a 7. I sometimes don't understand. I don't know if, you know, I'm not a pro grader, right? So, you know, it's probably my eye not being on the ball. But I'm happy with that. Like, that's a beautiful book to have in such a nice grade. I mean, it's a nice grade. It's a book that I see a lot, but it never looks good. Like, they always look problematic. So It's funny because the other one I have over there I think is nicer than this one. But now I've seen this grade, I'm going to think, well, that means that's probably going to come in at a lower grade. So I don't know. Anyway, that is my CGC unboxing. Like I said, I'm going to hopefully have another video for you now within 2 weeks. It'd be by the end of next week. I'm hoping my express order gets graded. 2 more boxes. They're not. This was fast tracked. The other ones I have there are not fast tracked. So maybe 2023, 2024. My beard will be grayer. I don't know. So we'll see. I'm also actually cleaning and pressing a bunch of books right now to do another batch to send off to CGC. So got a lot going on that way. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, watching me unbox this. I'm sure that to a certain degree is boring, but I enjoy opening things, and I enjoy sharing that stuff with you. So I thank you. If you're still with me, I thank you for sitting through this. And again, subscribe, like, share, comment, and thank you very much, and we'll talk soon. Take care.